everyone, welcome back. It's great to have you here today. Today we'll be revising inequalities. So in this video, we are going to look at both the linear inequalities and quadratic inequalities. We'll be solving it using algebra and also using graph. Okay, so let's first look at this linear inequality. 2x plus 3 is smaller than 5. So what we want to do is to take away 3 on both sides, and then we have 2x smaller than 2. And then divided by 2 on both sides, we have x is smaller than 1. Moving on to the next example, if we have a half x take away 3 smaller than 5, we want to add 3 on both sides to get a half x smaller than 8. Then times both sides by 2, we will have x is smaller than 16. Moving on, negative 2x plus 3 smaller than 5. Subtract 3 on both sides, we have negative 2x smaller than 2. Divide both sides by negative 2, we will have x greater than negative 1. Final one, negative a half x plus 3 smaller than 5. Subtract 3 on both sides, we have negative a half x smaller than 2. Times both sides by negative 2, we will have x greater than negative 4. So just to quickly summarize what we have done here, if we add or subtract any number, no matter whether it's positive or negative, the sign does not change. If we multiply or divide by a positive number, the sign does not change. However, if we multiply or divide by a negative number, the sign will change. So this is how we solve using algebra. What we are going to do next is to look at solving it using graph. Now, there are two ways of doing it. The first method is if we want to solve 2x plus 3 equals 5, it is the same as we are solving the simultaneous equation y equals 2x plus 3, y equals 5. So what we want to do is to plot the graph y equals 2x plus 3 and also the line y equals 5. As we can see, there is an intersection and that is our solution. So to find that intersection, we will need to solve the equation 2x plus 3 equals 5. And then we find out x is 1. Now, if we wanted to solve 2x plus 3 smaller than 5, we need to make sure that this yellow line is below the red line, which is this section shaded in green. Therefore, we want x to be smaller than 1, which is the same answer as the one we get from using algebra. Okay, now let's look at the second method. So what we can do to this inequality is subtracting 5 on both sides to get 2x take away 2 smaller than 0. And similarly, we can also see this as a simultaneous equation. Y is 2x take away 2 and also y is 0. So first we wanted to sketch the straight line. The y-intercept of this line is negative 2 and x-intercept is when y equals 0, x is 1. So we can get ourselves a sketch. Y equals 0 is simply the x-axis. Therefore, if we want to find 2x subtract 2 smaller than 0, we want this graph to be below the x-axis, which happens when x is smaller than 1. And this is the same answer as the one we get before. Okay, so now moving on to quadratic inequalities. Here is an example. If we wanted to sketch the graph of the equation y equals x squared plus 5x plus 4, first we want to factorize to find its x-intercept. So we will find that the x-intercepts are negative 1 and negative 4. The y-intercept is 4. So what we want to do next is we want to solve the inequality x squared plus 5x plus 4 is greater than 0. Similar idea as before. If it's greater than 0, we want it to be above the x-axis. So let's just test some points to see if we agree. If x is 1, then 1 squared plus 5 times 1 plus 4, which is 10, that is greater than 0. If x is 0, 0 squared plus 5 times 0 plus 4 is also 4, and that is greater than 0 too. And if we look at the one that is smaller than negative 4, if x is negative 5, we will have negative 5 squared, which is 25, plus 5 lots of negative 5, which is negative 25, plus 4, which is 4, and that is greater than 0 as well. When x is smaller than negative 4 or x is greater than negative 1, we will be able to get the graph that is above the x-axis. Okay, so now let's look at how to solve it using algebra. Now what we need to do first is we need to complete the square. So we'll have x plus 5 over 2 squared, subtract 25 over 4, and then add 4 is greater than 0. Let's just simplify this, and we will have x plus 5 over 2 squared, take away 9 over 16, greater than 0. Add 9 over 16 on both sides. Now we have have x plus 5 over 2 squared is greater than 9 over 16. Now, if we were asked to solve x plus 5 over 2 squared is 9 over 16, that means x plus 5 over 2 can be positive 3 over 4 or negative 3 over 4. But how do we decide the inequality sign? Is it smaller than equal to or greater than equal to? If I need to square something to get it to be bigger than 9 over 16, what this thing needs to be? Well, this number needs to be greater than 3 over 4 in order for that to happen. Therefore, x plus 5 over 2 needed to be greater than 3 over 4. So we can double check. If x plus 5 over 2 is 2, for example, that is greater than 3 over 4. 2 squared is 4. 4 is greater than 9 over 16. Therefore, this is correct. Let's look at the negative. Now we need to be more careful with the negative. If x plus 5 over 2 is greater than negative 3 over 4, then does x plus 5 over 2 squared greater than 9 over 16?
So let's say x plus 5 over 2 is 0. 0 is greater than negative 3 over 4. Well, x plus 5 over 2 squared is 0 squared, and that is not greater than 9 over 16. Therefore, x plus 5 over 2 will not be greater than negative 3 over 4.
Okay, so now let's try the other one. If x plus 5 over 2 is smaller than negative 3 over 4, for example, if x plus 5 over 2 is negative 5, and that is smaller than negative 3 over 4. Now, if I square it, I'll have 25, and the 25 is greater than 9 over 4. Therefore, this one is correct. So x plus 5 over 2 will be smaller than negative 3 over 4. Okay, so now we have two answers. X plus 5 over 2 will need to be greater than 3 over 4 or smaller than negative 3 over 4. By subtracting 5 over 2 on both sides, we will have x to be greater than negative 1 or smaller than negative 4. And that is the same as the one we get by using the graph. Okay, that is it for today. Well done for making through to the end. Remember, maths isn't a spectator sport. We have to keep practicing to be better at it. Happy revising, and I'll see you in the next video.